Hi, here we are at SMPTE. I'm with Renard Jenkins, who is an Eastern Region Governor with SMPTE and is also chairing 2 sessions today at SMPTE. First, what does a governor do?
Well, Governor at SMPTE represents his area of states. I happen to be on the Eastern region, so I've got D.C. and New Hampshire, New England. In that area, New York has its own section because it's such a large area.
Sure.
You know, my job is to represent their interests, to try and get to some of their meetings, stay in contact with the managers up and down the region, and make sure that their needs are being met by SMPTE. If there are ideas or things that they want to push forward on the national level, my job is to help them do that.
Well, speaking of jobs, your day job is with PBS. What is your title there, and what's your role?
Yeah, my day job is PBS. I'm VP of Operations, Engineering, and Distribution. I'm in charge of the entire media supply chain. So my team is really there from the moment that a product is greenlit until the moment we deliver it to the home or any other devices. Our job is really to make sure that we can do that in an efficient manner, and also that we stay in front of any issues so that we can take care of that. And proud to say right now we have a 99.99% reliability rating within the group, and it's really the work of my team back in the DC, Virginia area that helps us get there.
That's amazing because there's a lot that goes in between.
There's a ton of little small things that could take you off track.
Yeah.
But they do a very good job of making sure that we stay on track and we deliver on time.
Well, that's pretty cool, and I'm assuming that some of that wisdom will be shared during your sessions today. So
yes.
You've got a post-production and an image acquisition.
That is correct,
session.
yes.
So can you talk a little bit about both?
Well, from the post-production side, we're going to talk about a few use cases from the EBU and also from the CBC. They have been experimenting with HDR, high dynamic range,
sure.
Which we know is the real sort of secret sauce to making UHD and even HD, for that matter, much better. It's as Pat Griffiths always says, better pixels. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the struggles of doing that live, and also pseudo live, and some of the things that you run into there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So, you know, for those of us who grew up in post-production, that's sort of an area where we know it's going right now. How we get there, we're all trying to figure it out together.
Sure.
There's so many different specifications that are out there right now. You kind of have to prepare for them all until we sort of settle on which one's going to be the one that, you know, sort of runs in front.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about HLG, going to talk about PQ10, we'll talk about what Technicolor is doing, we're going to talk about, you know, everything that has to do with HDR and UHD.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now on the image acquisition side, everything starts with the camera. So Grass Valley is going to talk about some of the stuff that they've been doing, what they're doing from a camera standpoint, what they're doing with the sensor, some of the things that they're running into as they start to try and say, okay, how do we actually make a better pixel coming out of the camera? And how do we make that part of the world, as you're beginning to gather your images, a lot more efficient, a lot better, a lot cleaner? How do we do all of those things?
And that'll help the workflow going through to post. Start with the best image you can, and then sort of take it from there.
That is it. That's the goal. Okay. That's the goal. You know, camera technology in the last year. I don't know if you say last year. Really, the last 3 years has really taken a leap forward, and we want to talk about that. You know, there are not a lot of people who are saying, okay, I'm going to, you know, produce an HD camera. Everybody's looking at 4K and above. So how do you do that? How do you maintain sort of those characteristics that the artistic folks in Hollywood really want to have without making it too digital, where it has such a clean look that you have to start to add in a little bit of grain and texture in post-production? It's how do you do that? You know, and that's what the cameras are doing. That's what the lens manufacturers are doing now. Trying to just give us that ability to capture an image that will, you know, be wonderful straight out of the camera, but then give us all of the flexibility that we need in post to make it into, you know, what James Cameron or whoever else wants to actually do with the image once they get it. So giving you bandwidth to really play is what they're doing now, and it's really exciting.
It is, and I know that you're getting ready for your session now, so
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you much longer, but thank you so much for talking to us today. I really
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Really nice
Thank
to
you.
meet
It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Yeah.